Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this evening's meeting to order for the Chambersburg Area School District Board of Directors, our regular meeting for Tuesday, May 26th. If you would, please rise and join me for Pledge Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 2.03, a motion and second to approve this evening's agenda, please.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Gauss, second by Mr. Haydick. Questions, discussions, suggestions, revisions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Item 2.04, Ms. Harbaugh has resigned from the board, and tonight we need to accept her resignation. And then once we do, I'd like a motion and second for that, and then just talk a little bit about the process. We're going to reiterate the process we discussed 2 weeks ago. But for now, just have a motion and second to accept Ms. Harbaugh's resignation, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McKee, second by Dr. Diller. Questions or discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. The process, again, just to reiterate what we discussed as a board 2 weeks ago, the advertisement went out. In your manila folders tonight, you have a copy of the applicants, or we have 2 individuals who have indicated their desire to seek this appointed position. And Chris has put together a list of questions for the interview that the board will do next week. It'll be June 2nd. We will do that ahead of our regularly scheduled topic, which is the upcoming building project, Schools of Distinction, and everything that goes with that. So if you have any thoughts or suggestions on any of the questions or want to add some, send them to Chris. I don't know if we get a whole bunch, we'll have to talk about how we're gonna pare them down. If we have to, we could meet quickly ahead of time on the questions, probably. But any other questions or discussions on the process? Thoughts, opinions?
Yes, am I
Sir.
correct? We'll be getting a resumes or some sort of summary of their experience in education and so forth?
Behind
It's
the
attached.
questions,
Oh, you already
there is
got it here.
there is a
Okay.
letter attached for each.
My, beg your pardon, thank you.
And I believe they have till the end of the week. There could be more applicants. I don't know at this point.
Yes, okay, thank you, I didn't see those, thank you.
Yeah, deadline is,
I think the 29th.
okay.
Okay. We don't need a motion for that. That was already, that's already set without our motions. Okay, item 3.01, Superintendent's Report. Mr. Bigger.
Yep, thank you. Short report tonight. Just congratulations to all the graduates, but also all of those already thinking about next year and coming back all excited. So it is the end of one year, but it's also the beginning of next year, and people hopefully are just as excited to start the year as they are to end the year. I do have one question, just confirming attendance at graduation. And I want to put you on the spot. Is anybody not able to make either graduation Thursday or Friday?
I can't make.
Okay,
both
you're,
of them.
yep, so we got one and CMS.
CMS.
Okay. Everyone else good for Cassius and -1, okay, -2 for CMS, -1. That concludes my report, and we do have some special presentations on the agenda tonight to follow.
Mrs. Gogler's gonna carry the torch at Career Tech on Thursday night, so she's not missing graduation because of some other reason. She's doing her school board business.
Can't be in
Thank
two
you,
places
Mrs.
at one
Gogler.
time. Right.
Which leads into my report. I want to also speak about graduation. I believe that graduation is the biggest benefit of getting to sit at this table twice a month until whatever many hours and everything else. So I'm glad to hear that we're going to have a very good attendance. There's been years when we haven't had attendance, but to me personally, it's the highlight of the year for me as a board member. It's great watching that. It makes me think back, just a couple years ago when I did the same. But and then the second item is just a reminder to the public. Again, next week, a week from tonight, we will do the interview for the candidate to replace Mrs. Harbaugh's vacancy. And then as scheduled, we'll have our board discussion, question and answer. It's anything you want relevant to the Schools of Distinction project. So I just asked all the board members, go back. Probably some good information would be the last presentations we were given by the architects. And then the meeting before that, the presentation from our directors on the curriculum side. And I'd go probably the whole way back to beginning of March and think about the presentation that Mrs. Stauffer did with the 3-year budget and the borrowing scenarios. I asked Chris to put together, I know it's a project and it changes, and as they get closer and closer to finalizing it, we can get a better idea of the budget to provide a more clear and concise breakdown of the cost of these buildings, and the cost separated by design, construction, the soft cost, contingency, construction management, and I think there was one other item. But anyway, to break it down in each of those components so we can get a good feel for what the budget is for both campuses, if you will. But if you have any other questions or think you have some other questions that you may want to ask, whether it be curriculum, whether it be finance, I think Chris will probably talk a little bit about logistics and timing of the buildings. So feel free to throw those questions out to Chris or Tammy. We'll go through Chris, and then they can be prepared to help answer and then facilitate the board discussion.
I've got one quick question, please.
Yes, sir.
So, am I correct? June the 2nd, we'll have the beginning of the meeting, the interviews or whatever, at 6 o'clock. And that's in public here,
Yes.
right? And then following that, we'll have discussions about schools of distinction. And my question is, like, procedurally, will the person who's selected for the position be sworn in and they can participate
Yep, they will be sworn in.
post-haste?
We're looking, our notary is not available that day, so we're looking for a backup notary, and we didn't get confirmation of a person. But we're working on getting a notary here so we can swear them in so they can participate
Okay,
in the meeting.
yeah, good, thank you.
And we are approving the budget as a third item on June 2nd.
That's right.
I have a question about
Yes,
public comment. Will there be public comment at that meeting? And if so, is it before or after all of the schools of distinction discussion?
So, in my head, just out loud, for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
board votes, there's public comment prior to.
Yep.
And then the budget will be, the typical meeting, and then we'll have a vote on that, and then we'll go into the schools of distinction. So more than likely, it would be public comment prior to, since we're voting.
Before?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So it's two separate meetings. It's a meeting for board member replacement.
Yep.
Conclude the meeting, and then we go into a second meeting with 2 items.
Oh, I guess I hadn't thought about the first meeting. Is there public comment for that as well?
There is, yes,
Oh,
required.
Okay,
Because there'll be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
board,
that makes
there'll be a
sense.
board, it's a voting item.
good to know.
Okay. Item 3.03, PSBA Marcus Scholarship Award winner.
Crawford Gingrich, are you here? Yep. There he is.
Yeah, testing, is this working?
Green light.
Slide it over.
I think it's working now. All right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Crawford Gingrich. I'm the director of the Pennsylvania School Safety Institute and also proudly a committee member on the Marcus Scholarship Committee. On behalf of the trust, it is my honor to present the 2026 Marcus Scholarship to Natalie Eshelman, an exceptional student leader from the Chambersburg School District. One of the Trust's 4 student leadership scholarships, the Marcus Scholarship, recognizes students who plan to pursue a bachelor's degree in public safety, criminology, forensics, or other law enforcement / safety-related fields who have demonstrated a strong leadership through their high school careers. Natalie exemplifies these qualities in every aspect. A senior at Chambersburg Area Senior High School, she has achieved an extraordinary academic success, maintaining a weighted GPA of nearly 5.0, a ranking in the top 10 of her graduating class of more than 600 students. Just as impressive is the breadth of her involvement outside of the classroom, where she has consistently taken on leadership roles. Natalie has been deeply engaged in school activities throughout her high school, serving as a section leader in band, treasurer of the Special Olympics, vice president of Latin Club, co-organizer of the school blood drive, and editor and writer for the Midweek Update Club. She is also a member of the National Honor Society and the Mu Alpha Theta. In addition, Natalie balances her academic and extracurricular commitments with part-time employment as the library assistant for the Franklin County Library System, a position she's held since her sophomore year. Her commitment to service extends well beyond academia, though. Natalie has volunteered for years with the Keystone Health Center, assisting with administrative work and medical records, and regularly helps serve community meals at the Buchanan Valley Picnic. These experiences reflect her strong sense of responsibility and her desire to serve others in meaningful ways. After graduation, Natalie is attending Seton Hill University, where she will pursue a Bachelor's of Science degree in forensic sciences with, my understanding, a double major in biology. In her scholarship materials, she shared her passion for forensic science as a field that uniquely combines scientific rigor with justice. She hopes to work in a state or federal forensic laboratory with long-term goal of becoming a laboratory manager or director. Through this work, Natalie aims to strengthen the justice system by providing objective, evidence-based analysis that helps protect the community and while ensuring accountability. Because of her outstanding academic achievement, clearly demonstrated leadership, dedication to service, and strong commitment to a career in forensic science and public safety, I am pleased to present Natalie Eshelman with the 2026 Marcus Scholarship and a one-time award of $5,000 to support her pursuit of higher education. Congratulations, Natalie, and best wishes to your career.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Oh, wonderful.
Item 3.04, PASBO Certified School Payroll Professional. Mrs. Snow.
Good evening. I'm here this evening to recognize one of my team members, Sandy Delaney. Would you please come up? Sandy's been with us since 2019. She started in the payroll department as a payroll clerk in 2019, and in October of 22, she became the payroll supervisor, and we had asked her to pursue this certification. It takes about 4 years to do. There's several elements: payroll administration, school law and organization, governmental fund accounting, human resources, and elements of leadership management and supervision, along with about 22 other credits that she needs to get. So she was able to complete that this past February, I believe, and so we're here this evening to present her with her certification.
Brian's here for a picture, so if Sandy, you can turn around with the net. There you go.
Can we have more?
We can.
Well, I don't know. I think Commander Apgar, I think I saw some cadets carrying in some hardware, so maybe we do have more.
Oh, wow.
Good evening. There we go. My name's Cadet Burgum. With me, I've got the 2 leadership for next year, along with myself.
My name is Cadet Rojas.
My name is Cadet Landon.
Yeah, so we're next year's leadership team. I'll be the executive officer. Cadet Shaner will be the commanding officer, and Cadet Ross will be the senior chief petty officer. So next year, that's just kind of our goal. We'll be the 3 face of the unit next year. I don't know if I know how to work this. I don't think so.
Okay, so the first slide here, we have, oh, the microphone, okay.
There's millions of people listening tonight.
So the first slide we have here is the NJROTC athletic competition, drill nationals, and academic nationals. So we went to this at the end of March, and we represented our Area 3 at this competition. There were 23 best schools across the nation, and there were over 600 across the world. We went to Pensacola, Florida for this. So what we placed 3rd in armed regulation, represented as this trophy right here. 4th in unarmed regulation, represented as that trophy right there. And we had Cadet Derek Liu place 7th out of 350 cadets in the academic individual competition.
Yeah, so shortly after that, in April, we went to Penn State University. We toured with their Navy RTC program. We started out the day by doing their obstacle course with their RTC. They ran us through that. We were joined by some other schools in the JRTC. After that, we toured the campus with some NRTC cadets. We were midshipmen. We were able to ask them questions about just RTC life, kind of what they do on the campus, what a daily life looks like for them, what more about RTC, how that life kind of looks like. As a JRTC, our goal is kind of to get cadets knowing what they want to do in their future. Maybe not every cadet wants to go to college or do ROTC, but as a JRTC, it's important to get that involved.
The NJRTC ball is a ceremony hosted by our instructors and by the drill team that's organized, and we do a Navy cutting cake just like every other thing. It's a great thing to see the cadets actually being recognized for doing something and actually becoming something they want to be. It's recognized for being the top cadets of their each year group, and it's just a great thing. For with the dinner, we do cake, we won't just live.
So next thing we had at the end of April, beginning of May, was the NJRTC Brain Brawl Nationals. That's just an academic national competition. We qualified as the representative of Area 3 to go to this. This is in Daytona, Florida, at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Against, just like drill nationals, the top 24 schools came to this in the nation. On the way down, we were able to stop in St. Augustine. We toured the nation's oldest Spanish fortification. So we were able to go through St. Augustine, learn a bit about that as a team. We made it through 3 rounds of the brain brawl. We made it to the quarterly finals, placing 16th overall out of the 24. And in the nation, there's, again, 630-some schools, so that was pretty good for us. We plan to do better next year. We'll go back. And on the way up, we stopped at Naval Station Mayport. We toured a destroyer, the USS Lassen, so that was just a good opportunity for the whole team.
So right here we had our annual hike and change of command. So we hike about 8 miles out near Caledonia, and once you get to the top of the mountain, they have a change of command ceremony and lunch. So what the change of command ceremony is, this past year's leadership hands off the command to this coming leadership, which is us up here. And then after that is done, we hike back down the mountain, then we go to Memorial Park, where we have a whole bunch of games and have grill a whole bunch of food and have just a great time.
All right, so our goals for this year is basically to increase willingness and drive in cadets, be invested in every cadet, and reinforce discipline in each other cadet. What we like to see in each cadet to be for next year is making sure that they're well taken care of, making sure they're well taken care of, and also being sure that they are put in a place where they can lead themselves and build confidence in each other. We see as leadership for our goal is just making sure that they're actually growing and not just stuck in a stuck point. What we like to see, like every other teacher, is making sure they're growing, they're learning, doing each thing by each day, which is something we like to see.
So again, we are next year's leadership team. Next year, we're really just going to put a focus on cadet involvement, not only in the RTC, but in the community, in the school, as well as just raising the standard for every cadet to hold themselves to, just always making sure that they're pushing themselves to be better. And the big announcement, we are once again recognized as the most distinguished unit in the Mid-Atlantic region, so the #1 NJRTC in the Mid-Atlantic region.
No, they're beautiful.
Thank you, and I love it when the students bring hardware back to show us. Show and tell board style. CMS and CASH's student government reports. CMS? Wait a minute, Braden, wait a minute, I need to get my popcorn out here first. Oh, your popcorn? Yeah.
All right, I'll let you get your popcorn out. Oh, that's too funny. Well, I'm sure as well a lot of you know that I'm a senior, so this will unfortunately be my last report as the president of CMS. I'd like to thank the board for everything you guys do for the district, the time you have invested in it, along with the CMS student body and fellow representatives from trusting me to have this honor and privilege of serving as president, along with the support behind me of my advisors, the amazing staff at CMS, along with my parents, family, friends, and of course my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So moving into my actual report, oh, I turned it off, whoops. All right, Career Tech news. So, as you know, we went to States back in April, and so we had 13 students placed out of 25, and then there's 5 of us going, but 4 are CMS students. We'll be going to nationals. I'm going back again, doing the Career and Technical Educator demonstration. Another student from Landscape and Horticulture, Adrian Yoakum, is going and doing a job skill demonstration on how to make a fireside basket. And then there's a team of 3 that's doing career pathways in STEM and technology and how they ran summer camps over this past summer at Career Tech, getting the younger generation involved in STEM. Along with then, earlier in the month, we had a roundtable with Senator Doug Mastriano, a couple representatives, Rob Kaufman, Chad Reichert, Rich Irvin, and then Rob Kaufman, talking about how can they further assist Career Tech and funding, et cetera, and how we can get more students involved and in the classroom to become the next generation's workforce. So a lot has happened in the past month at Career Tech. So now moving on to student life. Today we had CMStival. So unfortunately these are pictures from last year, but CMStival is is what Caches does, is our color day. And so in the morning, there's all sorts of different tournaments that happen. A bunch of clubs sell food, different things to help support them. And there's just something for everybody in the morning. We had a mechanical bull come in today. And then in the afternoon, of course, is when the real competition starts, and whenever all the classes battle it out and draw blood. There was no blood. But yeah, so this year, the juniors came away with the win, but it was a good day, and I guess they'll be looking forward to it next year. Prom was a huge hit this year at our new venue. We were at the Orchards this year, which was different from being at Green Grove Garden and Greencastle. It was an awesome place to be in Chambersburg. A lot of changed things up. They were amazing hosts for us. The food was good, and so a lot of good things we heard, and they can't wait for prom next year. Moving along, yearbooks finally came in. They're getting distributed. Almost everybody's gotten them, signing them, passing them around. Those were a huge hit this year. And so that's all I have to report on yearbook. At the National Honor Society, we had the largest induction ever this year with 54 students. So that was a nice thing to see. And so that was April 15th. Like I said, that was the largest one ever, and we look to see that number grow next year. Before I go on to the academic side of things, I'd like to recognize the baseball team. If you don't know, they played in the District 3 Class 6A championship game yesterday. Unfortunately, they fell short, but they hadn't been there in a while, so we're proud of them. Along with them, I'm happy to report that our softball team tonight beat Mechanicsburg 2-1, and will be going to play Wilson in the championship game tomorrow night. So looking to bring away a dub there and bring some hardware home that's gold tomorrow. So academic-wise, Miss Kissel does an anatomy class, and what this involves is learning about the human body, all the different components that go into it. So I don't have a picture here of what they actually did, but they take all the knowledge they learn throughout the year, and then they actually do a pig dissection, and they put to work a knowledge of everything they learned throughout the course, and they get to put their hard works and see the fruit of their labor and be able to show Kissel what they learned, and just fun little activity to do there. Coming up, obviously, as you guys know, graduation. That's fortunately 2 days away. It's a bittersweet moment. And of course, then the nice long summer break before we get back to the hard work of school. So that's sort of what all has happened at CMS over the past 2 months. Is there any questions or comments? If not, thank you very much, and enjoy your summer.
Braden, before you sit down, we're going to miss hearing you speak, but where's Braden's plans for the fall?
So my plans is I'm going to stay local. The idea of going far away from family isn't quite my thing. So I'll be going to Shippensburg University here in the fall. But before I do that, I'm going to take my skills that I've learned from landscaping over at Career Tech, and I'll be working at Cumberland Valley Tree Service this summer, working there for them, and I plan to do that the next couple summers. But in the fall, I'll be going to Shippensburg, and I plan on becoming a 4th to 8th grade, specifically probably middle school level math teacher, and I'll be also having a minor in social studies, so I'm looking forward to, my current goal is to come back and work in the district, so I'm looking forward to what life holds there, so.
We got a contract.
Oh, right there already? My dad would be glad to hear that, but yeah, so that's what my plans the next 4 year holds, so.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, Parker Caches is next.
Hello, my name is Parker Christoffel. Tonight, sadly, Amr and Gabe Cieza, our president and vice president, couldn't come, so they asked me if I would fill in for him tonight as the student board representative, as well as to speak for our presentation tonight. So first, I'm going to talk about our new officers for the next year. So we just had an election about a month or two ago now, and our president is Ariana Stahl. She's currently she's going to be a senior next year. She's currently a junior. Our vice president is going to be me. I look forward to working with the board my senior year and filling this seat, actually, in a year from now. Our secretary is Sophia Cieza, Gabe's younger sister. I believe she's a freshman. Our treasurer is Sophie Jumper. She's the class president of the class of 28. She's a sophomore. And our public relations chair, and this is a new position for the student government entirely. We didn't have this position prior, but it was something that Gabe and Almer both came together and thought we should add. This position will most likely just work with a lot of outreach, like making flyers, putting them out, going on the announcements, just public relations and such. Now, the student that filled out that seat, his name is Abdurrahman Mayelden. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but he likes to go by Darman. He's great. He's a freshman. So we look forward to doing great stuff next year. So a lot of you know that May 1st, I believe it was, we had Color Day. Oh my gosh. So Color Day. First place was taken by the current seniors. They just won back-to-back years. It kind of sucks to be second place again 2 years in a row as class of 28. Just want to say go red and white, 2-8. And then third place was the current junior class, the class of 27. And fourth place, of course, was the freshman, class of 2029. I have a picture up of each class except for the freshmen because they didn't post any of their class photos at all. I tried to get some, but there's the class photos of each class except for the freshmen up there from Color Day. Color Day was great. Everybody had a fun time. It was pretty close between the sophomores and seniors. There was also the talent show. The talent show was great. I think we had more performers this year than we did the year before. It was really fun. Lots of great performances, singing, acrobatics, color guard things. It was awesome. So I think it was just last week we had the Special Olympics. The Special Olympics I participated in myself as a buddy. So in the Special Olympics is where we have a lot of students who in this district who are mentally challenged or disabled and have special needs. So we hold this thing called the Special Olympics. I believe it's statewide and done by PIAA. And there's levels for each, or there's different levels for each grade level. So kids in purple shirts are kids from elementary school. Kids in yellow shirts are the buddies. Kids in the orange shirts are high school level students, and green shirts are middle school students. Some of these pictures here shows students getting their face painted, another receiving their award for one of their events they had. They do a couple sporting events. There's the 50-meter walk, 50-meter walk, 50-meter run, 100-meter run, and 100-meter walk, and also the softball throw, and I think the standing long jump. Here's another photo up here in the top left of a couple students playing Jenga. When I had two students this year, and we had a lot of fun. I think they had a lot of fun, and it's just a great experience for all the students in general. So last slide that I have tonight is about graduation. I'm excited for friends that are seniors, and congratulations to all the seniors from CMS and Caches. And here's some photos up here of past graduations, and I look forward to hopefully seeing some of you there to recognize some of the students. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Parker. And as you said, thank you, Parker. And as you said, we'll just see you back in that seat next year. And then next year, I'll ask you what you're going to do the following year. College and career team highlights, Mr. Ocker.
Well, good evening, Braden and Parker. Fantastic job. Cadets, fantastic job. I don't have any trophies to share about this evening, but I do have highlights. And I was extremely impressed with Natalie because when she's running a future forensics lab, I'll have a connection to make with career field trips. So it's exciting stuff. But like I did share, I do have some highlights this evening. It's been an exciting year transitioning from the high school principal of last year to Director of Career and Community Partnerships. And I'd like to just share a few things that we accomplished this year. Before I get into that information, though, I also did provide you a handout that outlines some of the the items that we've accomplished on the second page, but the first page also highlights the career clusters for those of you who may not understand what they are at this point in time, and I will reference them during this presentation. So like I shared, it's been an exciting year, not only working with the individuals here at the district office, but also my colleagues as directors and also the community. It's alarming to me how much I didn't know as the high school principal was going on outside the walls of Caches. But it's exciting each and every time that I do visit a business and tour their facility. I'd like to take the opportunity just to share with you who my team is. I'm a team of 4. We have Maggie Hoover, who is our post-secondary education advisor. She deals mainly with our college items. Cindy Jewett is our workforce development coordinator, who really goes out in the field and she supervises our students who are out on internships. Chad Zimmerman is our K-12 career readiness coordinator, and he is the man behind the Zello screen. He really supports us with our Zello online career support. And then, of course, myself, Director of Career and Community Partnerships. When we started this endeavor, we as a district brought several staff members together, K-12, to discuss where we'll be going in the future. And I'm pleased to share out that one of the big items as a district pillar was career and college readiness. So in this new role of mine, I continue to push forward with that. There's obviously 3 levels, K to 5, which is the awareness piece. We're really trying to get out there and share with our students and our staff what is available to our students, so that way when they get through the years above them, they understand. In middle school, grades 6 through 8, we're really focused on exploration, helping the students better understand what's available to them when they do get to the secondary level. And a lot of my work is at 9 through 12, which is the application piece. That's where students really bring together what they're learning inside the classrooms and become engaged with the world of work. So I have also been pleased to announce that I've had the opportunity in this role to go K to 12 and actually stand in front of all of our staff members in the district and explain to them as a pillar of our education, the career and readiness piece that we're putting together and truly structuring at the secondary level for the years 28, 29. A few highlights just to share with you. In this role, we really have focused on career field trips and providing students the opportunity to truly interact with career speakers. We also partnered with the CAIU, which is Capital Area Intermediate Unit. They have a program called Cradle to Career. And the item that I shared with you earlier, the clusters piece, what we really focus on is trying to make sure that all the students have the ability to not just learn about, but start applying to each of these different clusters. So you'll see on this paper, this is actually an updated career cluster because there's a lot of work going into next year. They're updating the career clusters and the career standards. So when I say 12 out of 16, you're probably doing some counting there, doing some math and only noticing 14. That's because they've actually combined a few because they see how they go cross-curricular, okay? So, but I'm pleased to announce that because some of the work that we've done, my team, we brought the students up to see at least 12 of the 16 career clusters this year just in field trips. We were able to have 150 students participate. We wish we could have more, but unfortunately, in some of the field trips we send our students on, they are only up to the number of 8. So we had several students apply, but we had to turn several away. We also worked with the career clusters, and we had several career speakers. We did hit all 16 career clusters with that by having 25 different career speakers come in and speak with our students, as well as college presenters. 620 students actually participated with this, which was exceptional. It really gives a student an opportunity to hear about the individual's career world, their path, how they got into that role, and it's interesting to see and hear, and the students can have them right there at their fingertips to ask them questions and even make connections with them. Some other highlights, like I mentioned earlier, Mr. Zimmerman oversees our Zello program, which is a support program online. We are pleased to announce that 21,000 plus students have logged in to Zello this year, which if you do the math is an average of 2 logins per month. If you've never experienced Zello, give me an hour, I can show you what it's all about sometime. It's robust, and there's many other districts that are joining in on the forces of Zello. We also this year were able to provide parents the opportunity to log into Zello. We sent an email out. Parents now can go in and see what their students are working on, mainly grades 3 through 11. But we're going to be pushing out even more things even for seniors next year. Another big piece is the 339, which is a state mandate, and students have to actually complete career lessons before they graduate and have career artifacts. That is actually over the grades 3 through 11. And the biggest item there is you really want all your students to participate because the Future Ready Index is reported through the state, which actually gives us a district report card and also impacts each and every one of our staff's end-of-year evaluation based off of how we do as a district. Across the district, the goal would be at 99% to get to attain the highest level. As you can see there, grade 3 through 5 has 100%, grade 6 through 8 has 100%, and 9th through 11th is 99%. So as a district, we have met the highest level, which is blue, for the state. This slide here really is my most exciting piece to share this evening. We've really engaged in a lot of internships since July, and me going out and actually working with the businesses and creating partnerships and opportunities for students to attain an internship. I'm pleased to announce we had 29 students actually attend JLG this year, and of those 29, 20 of them received full-time offers prior to graduating. This, if you go back into history, 2018 is when we started with JLG. We were the first school district. There are now 20 sending school districts, and this year alone there were 116 total students in our general area that participated in the JLG program that we created. Out of that, there were 55 full-time offers. So that's doing great things for Franklin County. HCI is a program through WellSpan, our hospital. We've been doing it for years as well. We had 7 students. The neat thing about what's going on now is in the past, we would have, like just this year, we had 25 students actually apply. They get selected through a committee. Just like you see here, we only have 7 going next year. So what do you do with those students who didn't get in? Similar to what we're dealing with sometimes with the Career Tech Center. Well, because we've developed now a partnership with WellSpan, and they have opened up 21 of their departments, we will be now able to provide the students who didn't get into the HCI program through WellSpan the opportunity to now go and intern in one of their departments. So we're really not turning students away. We're opening up other doors. Mid-year, we switched out from service learning to full-time internships. Service learning was a little, in my opinion, loosey-goosey, and we wanted to make it a little bit more strict and more applicable to what the students' career plans were. So we are now full-time internships, but I didn't want to miss out on those 47 students because that truly was similar to what we're doing in the internship field. Student-based enterprises, we have 5 students. That would include our students who go to Patriot Federal Credit Union and work at our bank at the high school. They are retaining all those students throughout the summer, and then 4 of them are going on to college in the fall, but 1 is actually going to be employed there full-time and continue on in their career. Other internships we had 30 other students completing internships, and again, many of them were offered full-time positions following the conclusion of their internship. So again, great things, 118 total interns. Right now, if you went into Zello, I'm pleased to announce there's actually more than 42 because today we secured 3 more partnerships. So there's 45 actual business partners listed in there where students can go in with their parents and begin applying for these internships prior to their senior year. We had 82 student requests, and it's actually more than that since I've created this presentation. But that means students can go in and actually apply for the internships. We receive the interest forms. We can specifically place them in the internship that fits their need. And then one of our goals next year is to increase the amount of job shadowing that occurs. And now that we have these business partners, students can also go into the Zello platform and request a job shadowing experience rather than going maybe to their counselor and then their counselor not sure where to connect them to. So exciting things are happening, and we're very pleased to announce. Many business partners and career partners, the college partners that you see listed there, we're exciting. Things continue to occur. Shippensburg University, we're talking to them about creating a manufacturing summer camp. We were hopeful to do it this year, but it just didn't occur. So our goal is for next year. Wilson College continues to be a big advocate for our educational academy. RMU, which is Robert Morris, continues to support us with our students getting college and high school. And then Lackawanna College is opening up out here. They have the new Weld School out on near Letterkenny. And Lackawanna is now at the table with us with MOU. I think you guys just approved that recently, where students in our welding program at the high school will actually be able to receive college credit to attend Lackawanna College prior to graduating high school. Community organizations continue to support us. The Chamber, the Rotary, Healthy Communities Partnership, Franklin County Area Development Corporation, Manufacturers Association out of York, independent electrical contractors, and then the acronym that you see there is Early Childhood Education Professional Development Organization. So that would be a lot to put on this slide, but the cool thing about that is when we talk about needing educators, that is a program where 4 different local colleges and universities in Apache connected, and students at our school can take those courses and work with their professors at their universities and come out of high school already having college credit, and it's grant funded through the state. So it's supporting our students who may have lacked the financial means to go on, but it shows them that they actually have the ability and truly experience try before you buy and not rack up the debt or time that you involve. So that's exciting stuff. Just a couple milestones and celebrations throughout the year. We've done many things. We had a county-wide college night, 75 different institutions, over 239 students county-wide attended. We had a reality fair. December and March, we did the partnership presentation here in this room with a morning mixer with our Cumberland Valley Business Alliance. Decision Day, of course, was not too long ago in April. 151 students participated. We had a JLG ceremony, and I saw a few of you there. It was a great opportunity for us to celebrate those students. And then, of course, recently the Night of Stars and internship breakfast. All total, many students involved. So this is just a year in impact. Like I mentioned before, 620 students reached throughout the career speakers, 118 total interns across all programs. We had 1.5 million plus in scholarships awarded, and the students continually are logging into Zello, which is providing them some career readiness support, grades 3 through 11. So it's been an extraordinary year. We truly appreciate all your support. We look forward to next year. And if you have any questions at any time, feel free to ask me anything you need to know about careers, because trust me, there's some fascinating things occurring here in Franklin County, and I can't wait to see what happens with the wonderful students we see graduating here. Thank you.
Board members, question for Mr.
Yes.
Ocker?
Thank you, Mr. Ocker. It was great to hear the successes you've racked up in just a short while. It's really good to hear that. I would be willing to give you an hour someday on Zello, but how about just like 3 or 4 minutes? Can you tell us about, like, high level, what is it? How does it work from kids, you know, in elementary all the ways up through high school, and then what are the outcomes as a result of using it?
Sure. So at the elementary level, it's all about being aware of what's out there. So they do some... The elementary level, grades 3 through 5, a lot of that is awareness. So they're going on and they're completing a career readiness type material. It really gets in the meat and potatoes at the middle school level when they really start to explore what's available to them, which is great for us as we create the academy concept, so that way they can start truly thinking about what do they want to do when they get to the secondary level. Our goal is in 8th grade, or by 8th grade, all students will begin a career plan. Now keep in mind, some of us as adults aren't even sure if we're in the right career or not. But we need to get it out there. They do a career interest inventory. They actually utilize their personality traits, their learning styles. And Zello formulates a formula that shows them the different career that they should probably pursue. Inside Zello, then, they have several videos that a student can actually review with their parents. And then also, as they progress then into the high school where they apply everything that they've done, each year our goal would be that they complete that career interest inventory and so forth, because things change. You start talking to your friends, you see something on TV, TikTok, whatever it is, their interests change. The more they know, the better off they're going to make an informed educational decision with the future. Then the nicest thing about Zello right now is we can create a work-based learning dashboard where all our business partners can be listed with their logo, if it's a paid internship or unpaid, the description of what they're looking for, a little bit about their company, and then also that links to what the individual student's career plan is. So it doesn't make it difficult for a student to figure this all out. It really follows them throughout their entire path with Zello. If they're college bound, they also can go in to Zello and start researching the different colleges and universities that are across the entire United States. They can even do a virtual tour sitting in their own home of maybe Colorado University rather than driving there just to get the T-shirt and come back and say, I did this. They actually can explore it. It talks about, it talks about the scholarships that are available. It's all housed in Zello. So technically, our goal as a district is to create Zello as a one-stop shop clearinghouse. So that way we're not sending people on a wild goose chase and trying to locate all these things. It's a true career portfolio for the individual student that they can take with them once they graduate, because we're working on that too. So they, when they walk into their first interview, they can be successful in getting that job, and what sets them apart from the other individuals that have applied for that same job. So that's what we're trying to do. And the internship, of course, is the biggest piece of this, because they go into that interview with the work-based experience, proving to the individual asking them the questions that they're passionate and they have the experience behind what they're looking to pursue. So it's a great program. Give me a little bit more than 3 to 4, because if you're a complicated person, it may be difficult to get you through in 3 or 4 minutes. Sure.
Question for you. First of all, it's great to hear all this information and see the progress that has been made. So thank you for presenting
Absolutely.
that. The internships within the district, though, have we been able to find many within the different facets of our organization?
We have a lot of internships within, which is great, because that shows not only us, but it also shows our business partners that we are invested as well.
Did I see that in the slides, or did I just miss it?
Miss the
Internships that are within the district.
I could give you that number. I don't know it off the top of my head, but we have several. And really, almost every department within our district is open. Like the business department just took on someone the other day just to show them the ropes. We place students in elementary, middle school, and high school with staff members. We also, like I said, with the special education piece, or excuse me, that was the early childhood, but we also had a special education grant that we were placing students into positions with special educators, and then they could determine if this is a career that they wanted to pursue. Am I answering your question? You look.
Yeah. I guess I'm also thinking, which I just had read about in the business office, a paid internship. Are we paying some of these interns, or not paying them, or what? What does that look like?
We do have paid internships. I'm not exactly sure if we have
Within
paid
the
internships
district.
within the district. I know that we've worked with our custodial crew in the past, but I don't know if we're paying for the individuals within our own district right now.
Yeah.
But what we're explaining to the student too is the experience alone is your pay.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure.
I was just trying to figure that out, because I noticed the one from the business office. So.
Sure, no, great question.
I'm wondering how the success of the internship is documented by the employer. How do you document, how is it documented how things are going?
Okay, so yes, like I mentioned before, Cindy Jewett is my co-op supervisor in the field, so she goes out once a month at least, and she meets with each individual student. The student also has to weekly provide her documentation of things that they've accomplished, and they do a reflection. And then at the end of each marking period, the student's internship grade is provided through the employer's feedback and the evaluation that we have on that student. Technically, what we're really being is we're like a job coach. We are supporting these students because many of them have no idea even how to answer a phone. And I tell the business partners this: let us be your HR director, okay? So you're having an issue with one of your students, they're our students, so let's work together. We can either be a job coach, or we can be the individual that gives them the information that you're not returning the next day. It really depends. But we really push for our business partners to create it to be as real as possible. So if they drug test their employees, that's what we need to do with our students as well. Make it real, so that way they understand and there's no, the whole experience teaches them something about life. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Sure.
Are the internships determined by each of the business partners, the amount of time the student spends, or is that determined by your staff?
Great question. So the time involved, our goal moving forward is that every student would hopefully complete at least 120 hours worth of an internship, okay? And that's how they would receive credit moving forward. But each individual student has their own individual time frame, because students have different schedules. So the employers have been extremely flexible. They're all very interested in what we have to offer. I mean, I just met with a gentleman today, and he said this is the best thing that I've heard in many years coming out of education, because he truly believes you learn on the job. So he was excited. He's a new partner of ours that I'll be posting here very shortly. But, I mean, we have students that are in the past, as seniors, really only need one class their senior year, and they were going home and, you know, not exactly sure what they were doing. Our goal is to get something out of that, so that way they're prepared for life, and also experience what it's like, try before you buy. Is this something that I want to invest my time and money in? Maybe even pursue college. The other benefit of this, many of our business partners are willing to support our students who are financially struggling to go on to the next level, because they say, hey, you come work for me, and I will help you go through college. So it's a win-win all around. Sure.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Rocker.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I like your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Item 5.01, members of the audience are invited to comment on agenda items. We had one member, parent, sign in, Rain Zabdo. Would you like, did you have a topic you wanted to speak on, or?
Yeah, I do. I have.
Okay, just, if you don't mind coming up to the microphone, please. Thank you.
I'm out of my comfort zone, so.
It's okay.
Do I turn this on? All right. So, what I'm here for is a complaint. Simply because my grandson, who I have guardianship of, I'm raising him. I filled out the information for him to go to the Career Magnet School. He is a straight A student. He has autism, but he's very high functioning, very intelligent. I filled out the information, received an acceptance letter for him to attend the magnet school. The reason I want him to go to the magnet school because it's a smaller student body. He will thrive better in that type of setting. I'm afraid for him to go to the high school simply because kids tease him when they find out that he's, you know, a little different in a special way. They get him to do crazy things, and he wants friends, so he do whatever they ask him to do. So I figure the magnet school would be a better fit for him. I received the letter, filled it out. I took it personally back to the school. But I waited in my car, I called them, told them I had the letter. The young lady came out. I guess she was the administrator or whatever. And she took the letter. I didn't hear from them after turning in the letter. So I decided to call them to find out the next step. What do you do, you know, going forward? And that's when I was told that, you know, she told me to hold on. She'll look and see. Then she came back and told me that that letter was sent out by mistake. He's on the waiting list. So the acceptance letter turned into a waiting list. And then she told me that, I said, are you serious? She said, yes. And so she went, talked to the principal, and the principal told her to tell me that they tried to contact me and they sent me a letter, you know, let me know it was a mistake. I told them I never received a letter or a phone call. So, you know, are you mixing him up with another student? And they said, no, you know, we're sorry it happened, you know. Basically, they were saying, we're sorry it happened, you know, better luck next time, okay, bye-bye. So that's when I decided to call the superintendent, the school board. I think it was superintendent. She here? I talked to a female.
Well,
you don't look like a female.
No, oh, that's great.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh,
Mrs. Luffy.
you're the one. I'm sorry. Well, I spoke to you about the situation, and you were supposed to get back. You got back with me, but then when I told you I turned the letter in person, and I began to take this personal. This is unethical. This is crazy. So you said you would talk to them again and get back to me, but I haven't heard from you.
Oh, I apologize. I did leave a message, but I can talk with you about that.
Yeah, the message you gave me the first, is it the same as you?
No, it's different.
Oh, okay, because, okay, I haven't told him that, this situation happened. He's looking forward to going there. And so for me to come here out of my comfort zone, I'm pissed. This is so unfair, and I'm beginning to take it personal.
Yeah, I can talk to you and call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other members of the audience wish to make public comment? Okay, hearing, seeing none, we go into consent agenda items, the 6 series. These were all items previously discussed at the committee of the whole board meeting. So, first I'll ask if there's any of those first 18 items that any board member would like to pull out and vote on separately or independently. Otherwise, we will do a motion in a second and vote for all 18 of them through item 619 and approve them at one time. Mr. Bigger, did you have some additional comments?
I did not.
I thought you were turning on
Nope.
the mic, I'm sorry. So are there any items 6.01 through 6.18 that a board member would like to pull out and vote on, discuss separately? Okay, hearing none, you have a motion and second, please, to approve items 6.01 through 6.19.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Gogler, second by Mr. Hayden. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it and so moved. Group 7, now these are new items that were not discussed 2 weeks ago at committee of the whole meeting. So follow my normal protocol. Ask the administrative team if there's any of those 24 items, 25 items that anyone has any information to add, since these are new to the board members.
We do have a couple that we want
Okay.
to talk about. We can wait until we get there, or we can do it now. It's up to you.
I'd say let's go through them now, and then we'll ask board members if there's anything they want to pull out.
Okay.
And because maybe when you go now, maybe that'll mean
Okay.
it won't have to be pulled out.
So I'll start with 7.04. Just want to thank the collective bargaining process, Tina Clever in HR, and the ASME group for working through, it was about 4 or 5 month process and coming to a really strong end and a good contract. So I just want to thank them for their due diligence, time, and effort. The second one is 7.18. I just want to confirm that what happens with this vote and also in the future is that all 9th grade students will go to Cassius in the future. This is a grade configuration change which is required at PDE. We're doing it a year in advance for public awareness, but also to be on the ball with Pennsylvania Department of Education. There are some short and long-term ramifications of that. Much of it's around testing. So all your standardized testing will now go to Cassius because all the students will be taking most of their exams in 9th grade. The CMS will not be necessarily a standalone school with its graduation. So this is a pretty major change, and this is the beginning. You've heard about this, but this is the first formal action of the board to make that change. I just wanted to highlight that as an important item. Kurt, do you have any?
I have 2 of the 6 items that are under my name. And the first one is 7.19, the Lincoln Intermediate Unit Education Services Statement of Work. That's for teacher induction. The last couple years, we've been surveying our newest teachers and our folks that go through induction and garnering feedback on what they need most to be supported as new employees. It also was one of our areas that we had a pillar based around, and we also included in our comp plan. But it became evident that we needed to update our induction plans. And I worked with the LIU to develop a system of induction for Chambersburg based on PD, our new staff need. We ran a test group of 6 employees that were emergency certified this year, and we focused on the following several areas: lesson planning, instructional strategies, including AI, student data informed lesson design, accommodations and adaptations for students with IEPs, ESL strategies and training, communicating with parents, and professionalism in and out of the workplace. Last year, we spent about $143,000, or this year, we spent $143,096 on teacher induction. All those were for days, 3 days before the school year, and then basically 4 more days after school, 2 hours. So that was all in teacher salaries. And that entire amount was based on teacher pay. For the last many years, we've been having 2 elementary principals run our induction program. With the new calendar, we were able to provide Friday PD. With the LIU providing the induction, we will save a net $21,866. So we're actually going to have a savings this year by using the LIU and working with them on what we need. This will allow our content specialists, principals, and others to focus on small group PD while new teachers are getting their induction PD. There also should be more savings next year. As you know, last year we had a very large induction group of about 60 individuals because we hired more interventionists, counselors, our directors, deans of students. So we had a large class. They'll be in year 2 of the induction process. We're only expecting 15 to 30 be part of teacher induction this year. So the following year, we actually should see more savings than the $21,000 that we're going to see this year. And let's see. I think that's so we know with the PD, we no longer need to pay hourly after school since we're going to be doing it with the new calendar. So that covers 7.19. And then the other one I wanted to bring up was 7.21, the professional development quotes and contracts. We're bringing this up now because we need to get some of the contracts started for next year. This was all part of our budgeting that was presented both by Tammy Stauffer as well as Drew Nelson when he was talking about the reading by 3rd grade. The approval will allow us to execute the contracts for professional development, instruction and leadership coaching, and the procurement of necessary resources. 2 of the things are Amira Learning and the AIM, which is the professional development for our K-3 teachers on the science of reading that will occur on those PD Fridays. And the other piece is working with Jimmy Costas and his associates on one piece is our schools of distinction. So he'll work with our leadership at our building level as well as our directors for the schools of distinction in the elementary, middle, and high level. And then you'll see a second one that is just focused on the K-3 reading, where they will be, we have 13 different schools, 8 different principals, and very different needs, but we want to make sure that our system that we are building is the best one that we can build, and we get the support to do that. There'll be lots of intentional walkthroughs with our teachers and instructional specialists and interventionists, and to ensure that we are heading down the right path for our K-3 reading initiative. So we wanted to bring that now so we can execute those contracts because some of that work starts in the summer. But that is part of our plan that was presented by, it's included in next year's budget through, even though we haven't voted on that, but it's part of the, within the 2.5% that Tammy Stauffer presented and what Drew presented at a previous board meeting. Sorry it took a long time to explain that.
Okay, board members, are there any of those items that you would like to have further discussion on and or vote on separately?
Just like to ask the 9th grade now, I know what it's, just gonna be a separate academy is what, you know, with the,
We'll just pull that out a little bit, because I probably want to make a comment on that.
Okay,
too, if that's
okay.
So we'll separate out 7.18.
Yep.
That's the number, right, Mr. McKee? Okay,
Yes,
7.18.
I
Any
think
other,
it is.
any other items?
Yeah, I have just a question on 7.15.
Okay, we'll separate that out then. Uh-oh.
That's a funny one. That's a funny one.
That's a funny one.
Yeah. That's impact aid.
Okay.
I mean, I can give it real quick. It's impact aid. It's our reimbursement for lost taxes as a result of having federal land or federal programming in our area.
I wasn't all that familiar with PL 874, but.
Did I get
thank
that
you.
right, Bobby? I know you're not that familiar with that. Tracy and I usually do that one. Yeah. Yep. That's correct. Yeah, I'm the representative. Yes. It's a decent amount. It's like $300,000 that we get reimbursed, mainly for Letterkenny and the.
Oh, I thought that was your stipend.
Yeah, great. Yeah, sure, sure. It's another login in the email account. That's for sure. So quick and easy, Mike.
Okay, well, good, thank you.
I'd like to have 7.19 pulled out and 7.21 for discussion.
So right now, it's 7.18, 7.19, 7.21. Any other items? Okay, hearing none, a motion and a second to approve items 7.01 through 7.25 with the exception of 7.18, 7.19, and 7.21. We will do those three independently or separately here. So motion and second on the remaining items, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McKee, second by Dr. Diller. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it and so moved. 7.18, we'll do these one at a time. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Haydick, second by Mrs. Gauss. Okay, Mr. McKee.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
old school was 7 through 9.
Right.
10 through 12, whatever. So just a question in my mind.
Yeah, ninth grade's going into an academy, and I think they're in their second year this year of the academy. So it'll be very formalized, structured, and ready to go for when all the students go to
They're in the
Cassius ninth
same
grade.
building,
Yes,
but it's just called
correct.
Ninth Grade Academy.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments for item 7.18? My comment is, and I've mentioned it a couple times in the president's report, not as frequently as I've talked about the bricks and mortar component of schools of distinction or the financial obligation from schools of distinction. But this is also another part of this, I won't say the other part, where this grade level reconfiguration, and I don't think we can talk about it enough. Some of my detractors who are often in the audience think I talk about the finances because I'm against it. I talk about the finances because it's information, and I don't think we can talk about it enough. I had a boss one time that said, "Bad news doesn't get better with time." I think we owe it to the community, the staff, the students, and everyone to talk about this and put it out there. We can't talk about it enough to get the word out. And the other component of this, which is probably even gonna be more of the shock, is the redistricting that's gonna come with the elementary. That's gonna be a big item, but there's no reason not to at least talk about it and be forthright about it. So I appreciate Mr. Bigger bringing it up, the board taking action on it. And again, anyone's comments on it, including mine, it's not necessarily, you're opposed to it, it's just information. Okay. No other questions and comments? For item 7.18, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it and so moved. Item 7.19, motion and second, please.
Move to approve.
Second. Go ahead, Gary.
Motion by Mrs. Gogler, second by Mr. Piper. Dr. Diller.
Well, I was looking at the educational services provided by the IU, which is what Kurt had mentioned. And I was wondering, I kept thinking that we've just brought on 4 directors with expertise to our district, which I'm very pleased about. We have content leaders now. we have principals, we have supervisors, and in many cases, the induction is handled internally. And then as I flipped through, I noticed that we're gonna pay $97,000 for this service. And I think that as we have these new supervisor or directors, we want to offer them the leadership as they would provide instruction for the new teachers. They also, when they provide the instruction, they also build relationships with these people. The IU, when they come in and do their in-service, they come, they go. But I would like our new teachers to see the leadership that we have in the district, and we now have the capacity to do that because we have our directors and we've put people in place. And when you have to do a presentation as an administrator, you learn that and you make sure you know that information quite well to present it. So I was like, I'm thinking, well, when we have people within our district to do it, why would we spend that $97,000? And I was trying to, get that in my mind. And I know Kurt had mentioned that on the days, they're on the Fridays is when they would do this in service, and you want your prime people helping with your teachers. But if we have the new teachers being pulled for induction, they're missing the district in servicing that's going on, and if that's of high quality, they have missed that. So I was hoping, I thought about it, consider that we could table this. Could we table this item till we get more information and look at more possibilities or possibilities of our district people doing the induction? Previously, it's been done by 2 principals in our district. But now we have capacity that we didn't have before. So I just look at the cost savings and where's the best use of that $97,000. I think we have the ability to do it within our district. And if we table it, we could get more ideas from the administration on their thoughts on that. Because this did not get discussed at the CAL. It's a new item.
I'd like to comment. I think that's a fair approach to get more information. And on the other hand, I'd like to get information from the staff. If you're doing this training, this induction training, what aren't you doing that may be more important? I don't know what that might be. I'm sure there's lots of things you would be doing and could be doing, so I'd like to hear both sides of that equation, personally. But good point.
Other board members, questions or comments? Yeah.
I would assume that you've given a lot of thought to this and maybe already have the answers that Dr. Diller is requesting.
Yeah, I think I could shed some light on that, and I may call on our directors over there as well as they are developing their plans for professional development that are going to be happening on those Fridays. First off, the county is going to a day 1 all LIU induction. The day 2, which is before the school year, is typically it's nuts and bolts. It's half the day is spent with our technology department, just getting on the system, getting their computer, learning about Sapphire, learning, how to enter incident IQs and things like that. The PD Fridays, we are moving the time is not the first 2 hours of the day, so they wouldn't be missing any of like the AIM training for all K-3 teachers that are going to be getting that from 8 to 10:30? Yeah. Their time would actually be 10:30 to 12:30, and that is when we have some smaller things that are going on and lots of varied things that are going on, and that they wouldn't be missing the big building trainings or the big initiatives. Like this is where maybe Melissa and Deb can talk about what they're going to be doing in that 8 to 10:30 time frame, and then also what could be happening from that 10:30 to 12:30 time frame. But it was intentional the time that we picked for each one of those Fridays with the LIU. And we have, our schools are working on schools of distinction plans. We have, basically something that is big in each one of our areas, and we want them to focus on that, and our directors and our, principals are doing that. So this is one thing that we did work pretty specifically with the LIU on exactly what Chambersburg needs. They offer some asynchronous. We didn't want it to be asynchronous. We wanted to be in person because that's much more valuable. And we feel that it is an update, and it's what our teachers were asking, our new teachers, and it came from also our veteran teachers when we did our blueprint, that we really update and give a different support in to helping retain our newest teachers. That was one of our pillars, was a big piece of, was taking a look at our induction plan. And the state also moved it to a 2-year plan rather than a 1-year plan. So we did update made this part of our comprehensive plan as well. So if you guys want to maybe jump in with what each division is doing, like a typical 8 to 12:30 or 8 to 1.
Let's hope this mic works this time better than last meeting. Best quick answer, and I'm not known for my brevity, but the best answer that we can give you is a tremendous amount of time from our level has been placed on coordinating a lot of moving parts when it comes to cramming everything into a Friday, but maintaining the worth in what everyone experiences. So there's a really fine line between balancing district and building initiatives that we know everyone needs to be a part of and participating, as well as kind of crafting specific time to support new teachers. Even utilizing content specialists and directors, which we did do this past year. We were heavily involved in new teacher induction, and some of the feedback that we got from content specialists, which was a really important process wrapping up year 1, was that mentoring new teachers probably took a tremendous amount of time from them, sometimes very difficult to do when you're across the district at a different building. So pulling teachers together, knowing we've set aside the time and coordinated that 10:30 to 12:30 time to devote just for new teachers to meet in person was really worthwhile. Also knowing that you have to, in order to provide something, you have to leverage something else. So we really did have a lot of discussion on the quality and the worth of partnering with the IU to provide a lot of specialty, allowing and freeing up current district resources to impact even more teachers. So we could show you examples of, we have calendars drafted out for every Friday as of next year already created.
Specifically, I think what the high school is going to be working on is obviously some of the academy development that Mr. Ocker spoke of earlier this evening with all of the internships and the career experiences. We'll be also working along with some of the curricular and the sequencing of those courses and some of the marketing, the application, some of the other big ticket items that we need to do with our academy teachers. We also, because of ATSI, we're going to be really looking at differentiating instruction and those focus areas for those particular student groups, which is our IEP students and our ESL students. We're also going to be looking at incorporating some data teams at the high school level, of course, our Zello training for our career development, and let's add some technology to that too, because Christine Wagelmuth would really like the high school to start embracing the technology a little bit better than we are right now. So we are jam-packed.
I'll just add that the piece that really sold this for me was the ability for our principals and our intervention specialists and our counselors and our in-building experts to be able to stay in the building with their staff on those times when the new teachers are going to be working with the LIU. If we're going to build this ourselves, that's going to pull our staff from many other things that we have lined up already on those Fridays, and we would have to readjust our Friday schedules and find ways to plug those gaps that would be created.
What's the possibility of doing the induction at a different time instead of Fridays? Chris, if you could answer that.
Yeah, I think if I remember the contract language, we allowed for 32 hours, 20 for the first year, and 12 for the second year to be required to be outside the school day. The remaining time must be during the school calendar workday. Otherwise, we can't make them come. We could schedule it outside that time, but it would be voluntary.
Well, of the 32 hours, how much would that cover of what you do for induction?
I'm going to look to Kurt on that. He did the math on the hours.
Yeah, we have the couple days before the school year, for 2 years straight. Induction is 2 years. So we have the hours that we already have before the school year for 2 days each year. So a total of 4 days over those 2 years that they would be outside the normal calendar year for teachers.
So we're saying 4 days, 32 hours?
Yep.
So wouldn't that cover it?
Yeah, it would cover it if you didn't do job embedded, you know, that would, I'm just speaking from the plan. The required days altogether at the beginning of the year are more of the formal compliance requirements.
Correct.
The ones throughout the school year are more, how do I do this as a new teacher? How do I manage my class? It's not the compliance-driven side. It's the ethics is done before school, the technology, the IEP writing, and there's just a laundry list, trauma-informed instruction. There's a laundry list of expectations of new teachers to learn that we call it the checklist. But what's most important with any induction and any training is, what do I do tomorrow because I'm struggling? That's what the Fridays are for in the 2 hours. So it's more job embedded. Hey, how can I help my class tomorrow? So I don't know that the hours will work out for you mathematically.
And secondly, you know, after a full day of work, the way we do it now, they come for 2 hours several times a year after the work day. You know, people are coming late because they're coming from schools all over the district. It feels rushed. We also have to pay our teachers for working outside hourly. Once you add in benefits, that's around $77 for each hour that they do outside. That's the reason why actually this is less money than it was.
And it's more. Is it more hours? It's less money and more hours.
Less, yes, right.
Well, I also think that the attrition of a new teacher who is not adequately supported is a significant potential cost to the district. If you don't give adequate support to a new employee and they leave and you have to hire somebody else to take that position, how much money are we talking about in that avenue? New employees today are not as job ready as some of us probably were when we started our jobs X number of years ago. And that has a lot to do with society as well as educational. There's many reasons why I see that happening, but I saw it with my own profession, where when I graduated, a week after I graduated, I had my feet on the floor and I was doing a full job. You don't get people right out of school ready to work the way you and I maybe did. And I just really feel that it's a very important aspect to adequately support new teachers so that they stay and do a good job. Secondly, it can't all be front-loaded because they don't know what questions to ask, what help to even ask for until they are in the mix. And so I think it's a very good plan personally, although I don't know a lot about teaching in the levels that you're talking about, but I know when I started to teach nursing, it was a big adjustment. I can only imagine a new teacher coming out of college today. I just think that the support, I think they have planned it, given a lot of thought to it, and I'm not an expert to suggest that their planning is not adequate.
Well, first of all, I didn't say that the planning was not adequate, because I think that they have planned to work with the IU. But the IU training can be really good and it can be really bad. And I've experienced it personally, and I've sat through some of the things at the IU that have not been good. And when we have all these experts in the district, I would love to see them show their leadership skills. And it's very important that we support these new teachers And they do give them that support. I know you give them that support. And I'm very happy that we have put things in place to offer that support. But I just find it, again, $97,000, and it'll be $97,000 next year, the following year, because once you put something in place, it stays in place because people don't want to do it because they're too busy. So, that's my thoughts.
Yes. 98,000, but it's like 1,500. If you have 60, it's like 1,500 a person. If you look at it that way, is we're gonna make it 1,500.
My thing is, I think we should be having our leadership team working with these teachers.
I'm sure they are as well.
Yeah, but
So-
that's what I'm looking for with the, as they start out their career, we're bringing somebody from the IU, they waltz in, they waltz out, and they do the presentations. And then that continues. And a lot of districts are not doing this. They do it internally because they have the expertise. Another thing is, our district has lots of people in the administration now. And and Chris has worked hard to get that to happen. And I applaud you for doing that, Chris. And that makes a big difference. But I'd like to see them, they have shown lots of leadership, but there's several layers. You've got directors, you've got supervisors, you've got content teachers. You've got lots of people that are supporting these teachers, and I would love to see them leading the charge instead of having the IU person waltz in here for $97,000. But, you know, I'm one person.
I wonder if I might offer another perspective. And I agree with you that it's a shame that we would lose a brand-new teacher. But if we lost experienced staff, administrators, leaders because they were overburdened, because now we're doing things that we really hadn't planned on doing, then that would be a much greater loss to recover than losing a teacher that's only been here for not even a year. I know we need new teachers. I just would imagine that this plan is solid, based on lots of research, looking at the information that's available, and a reasonable decision to put forth this plan was made. So I don't see any terrible flaws in it other than, yes, it costs $97,000 a year. That's just another expense. And oh, by the way, if we get into, we won't have to look at it, but the Learning Center, Career Center, once again, I'll repeat, the cost to their student tuition for even our students went up 3.23. The magnet school, 3.93. So everybody's raising the cost of educating kids. We have to recognize that it's getting more and more expensive every year, and that's a fact of life.
My one last thought is that you have X amount of dollars. You can put $97,000 in this, or you can have your staff do it and save $97,000. But
I wanted to ask Kurt to clarify, did you say, did I hear you right, that the day one is countywide, all with LIU? Is that
Yes, that's correct.
So that's established?
Is that part of the 97,000?
I believe it
Yes,
is, and
it is.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bigger
The county
actually worked with
superintendents wanted to return
superintendents.
to a more of a camaraderie with all new teachers coming together to get to know each other from Waynesboro. We share them all the time. So we wanted one day. So that's all we asked for. The rest of the plan is all the internal discussions that Kurt's been having with the staff. So yeah, the county superintendent's one opening day. It's a career tech. It's on August 10th. We'll go through a lot of the same things that each school district does separately.
But you're losing a lot of personalization there when you're not having your staff with you. But that's my thought.
You might actually get more personalization because rather than them focusing on their training, they can be focusing on processing what the new teachers are learning in the moment. I don't know. I've not been a part of one of
Well,
these.
I've attended many of these
I know you
sessions.
have, but I think there's benefits as is.
I have to believe that the staff has done a lot of studying and seen what's best. And I have to trust them in that they know what they're looking at down the line as they start to put, the configuration changes tremendously in that. And I know it's 97,000, it's not chicken feed, but I just believe that they have thought through this and I still think they'll then maybe can connect more coming off what's been taught. Now, that's just my personal opinion.
I just want to throw this out to the board members, and this has been, a lot of good questions, a lot of good discussion, a lot of good answers, more good questions and some more good answers. But I just wonder if this topic isn't maybe suited for a future agenda item on a committee of the whole meeting with more of a formal presentation. Just everything that's been going on, I don't know if a item of this magnitude that we just put it on consent, new item now. I know I have some questions, and I'd like to hear at some point more about this 124,000 cost previously. How much is day one? What's day 2, 3, and 4? Is that LIU? Is that district leadership doing it? I'm also concerned about the Fridays. It's no secret. I was concerned about the Friday and the new calendar when we voted on it as a board. It is what it is. It passed. But as we heard, right, there's a lot crammed into a Friday. The high school wants to talk about academies. I don't know if it's better or worse that a new teacher isn't part of that topic or that educational information, or if it's better that they're off learning new teacher thing. I would think a new teacher needs both. And I don't know how you do both, but maybe there's a way we can do both. Again, if we didn't use LIU previously, we had 120,000, but the selling point 6 months ago on the calendar was all this good content and good information we want to share on Fridays. Some of these Fridays are remote learning. They're not all in person. This is interesting. Some people are shaking their head yes, and some people are shaking their head no. This is really interesting now.
Yeah,
But
we changed it.
Either that, if it's valuable information, as I'm sure it is, and the directors have been working hard to put together, a quality presentation, robust professional development. Again, does a new teacher need that just as much as they need new teacher information? I don't know what the answer is. I struggle with this, I'll be honest with you, coming from the private sector, okay, and being a manager and a leader and a vice president in the private sector, okay, I'm expected to teach young people what to do, and I'm not expected to get paid for it. That's part of the responsibility of sitting in the boardroom, sitting at the head of the table, sitting at the board meeting. Your job is to go out and make people better, and in the private sector, you don't get paid for it. But that's a concept that I've always struggled with.
I think I'm just going to chime in. The only real question is, do we have the capacity to do it inside the district, or do we want the IU to do it? That's what we would bring forward. I wouldn't get into all the details of how the Fridays are going to work and all the communications. Either you want us to do it, or we want the IU to do it. That's the root question. That's it. It's that simple. And we're fine with either way. If we study it and we come back to you in June, or you vote tonight, either way is fine. But that's the only question that matters the most, for me anyway. Because we can do it, we will arrange it, we'll figure it out, and we'll come up with it. Like, that's our strength. To some of their points, there are consequences of that, but again, you're a board, you're allowed to make the decisions on where the resources go. So you're not offending anyone in the room, you're not upsetting anyone in the room. If you want us to do it in the house, we'll do it in-house. If you want us to consider the IU or something else, we can do that. But that's the root question.
Well,
Try not to get into the layers.
I keep thinking of that comparison of the airplane that we heard about when we went to PSBA. Are we governing or are we managing? And, you know, it seems like we're getting into management instead of governance in some of these areas. We have what I feel are very expert administrators who have given a lot of time and effort planning this, and I don't see any reason to delay their plan for the future by getting into the micromanaging of the day-to-day operations. You know, governance is not management.
Can I just add, I'd like to say something about, that. I have to sit here and I have to vote yes or no. So that is not, you know, getting in the weeds and managing. If I didn't have to vote on it, then it would be okay. But that excuse is used, but I'm sitting here and I went through this contract, so I don't buy what you just said.
Yeah, governance versus management is always a slippery slope. And I'm gonna go back to the information and presentation on Fridays, that we needed Fridays to do robust staff development. Dr. Shore, who's president of Friday, he used to always say, there's only so many hours in a day, right? So there's only so many hours in a Friday. And you're gonna take some of these hours for Friday that we were told is gonna be doing staff development and all this other stuff, and we're gonna pull new teachers out to do teacher induction. I don't know that that's governance, I don't know that it's micromanagement, but it was presented one way, and now it's changing a little bit, so I don't know what you call that.
Chris's question, either you want the IU to do it or you want the district. I would love to, you know, we put these people on the spot in answering the questions, and I think about it. And can we table it and let your governance team decide and work through it? It's just an alternative to a different way. I just want these leaders to be viewed as leaders. I want their expertise to be known. I want them interacting with the new teachers, which they do on a daily basis. It's very important when those new teachers are coming in that they have that support, and they are going to get that support either way you do it. But I still believe they can do a much, much better job than what we're going to get through the IU, because I've sat through the sessions many, many times. It's been 9 years, but I will say, I sat through the strategic plan, and I just couldn't even believe the things that were being said. So I'm not a fan of the IU.
So we have a motion and a second to vote. Is there anything else?
Is it something that can be tabled for new information?
Anyone can make a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Motion to table item 7.19 by Dr. Diller. Second. I'll second the motion. So now we will vote on the motion to table. All those in favor of tabling item 7.919 for a future committee of the whole meeting signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay. Motion fails. All right. Now we have to vote on the original motion, item 7.19. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed. Motion carries 6-2. Okay, item 7.21, professional development, quotes and contracts. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hayda,
Second.
second by Mr. McKee. Questions or discussions?
This is on 7.21.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was looking at that as well, and I remember I was thrilled that we were gonna have $1 million to help with reading by third grade. And then as I'm looking at it, 233,000 is being taken from that original million, and I would like to see that that could be moved over to another area or funded some other way, and that we would know what the rest of the million is going to be used for. What other ideas you have?
What is SOD building support? Schools of distinction.
Schools of distinction.
Okay, any other questions or discussions?
Mr. Bigger?
Yeah.
Is it okay to move the 233,000? I approve of it. I think it's great, but I don't want to see it come out of the million. You got to understand that for 4 years I've been on this board, and for 4 years I've wanted something for the K to 3 programming, and we said we'd have the million, and the one whole year we didn't even hire a reading specialist, and I don't want to see that happen again. I want to see the million go to that K to 3 programming.
So just for clarity, it's not that you object to the middle school and high school receiving school of distinction support for all schools. It's that you want to see the elementary and reading get more.
Yes, I want them to see them getting their million.
So let us come up with some other ideas, because we're at 750 in total, right around there. Drew, I'm looking to you.
It wouldn't be approaching that yet. It might be a little less.
With all of it totaled together.
All of that totaled together would be about 750, 770.
Well, we would be taking the 233 out.
Correct.
Oh, so your motion and recommendation would be to remove the 233?
No, I want it approved, but not be taken out of the $1 million.
I gotcha. Okay, yeah, we can do that.
I think it's a very good program.
I gotcha.
I'm very pleased with what I've seen on that list.
Yeah.
I
So-
think that they've made good decisions, and everything looks really good, but I want to save that $1 million
Gotcha.
to get that K to 3 programming.
Yeah.
I want to see more
I gotcha.
in second grade for helping with the walk to read.
Yep, I gotcha. So we'll work on that additional allocation.
And what you're going
So
to use.
Yeah, we're gonna use it for.
Mr. Nelson, if I understand, right now, you've only allocated less than 750 to that initiative, or did I misunderstand that? Maybe help me with that.
Right now in the Friday report that I submitted last week, the total is 766. And that includes these items plus headphones for Amira, which is now K to 2 and not K to 1, and also the funding for Walk to Read.
So it'd be 766 less the 233.
Less the 233.
Wonderful.
Yep. We'll work on the additional allocation of funds.
Any other questions or comments, discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of item 7.21 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it and so moved. Finance and facilities, item 10.01.
The list has been updated for the gifts, grants, and donations. One big one that came in since our CAL was the last item listed. If you can scroll down, actually my computer's not there, it's scrolling down. Giant Martins has given a donation to wipe out some of our student debt in the amount of $13,153.98. That's student debt that, for meals basically at the 2 high schools. So we want to thank them for doing that.
Kurt, can you clarify, is that the rounding up to the dollar? Is that where that money comes from for Giant?
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you for bringing it up. If you're listening online, round it up.
Okay, motion and second for item 10.01, please. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Piper, second by Mr. Rayber. Any further discussions, questions, or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it and so moved. My computer screen still isn't working, so I have to turn to my paper now. 11.01, first reading of policies. Motion and second for the first reading of the policies.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McKee, second by Mrs. Gauss. Questions or discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it and so moved. Item 11.02, second reading of policies. Policy 217.1, early graduation. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Haydick, second by Dr. Diller. Questions or discussions on item 11.02? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Item 13, new business. Board members, any new business that you would like to bring forward for future discussion, committee of the whole, or anything of that sort?
Yes. I would propose that we take a look at our board policy on filling vacancies. Because we had this recent vacancy occur, I must have read our policy, probably exaggerating slightly, 50 times. Seemed like 50. And I could not figure out clearly that we're supposed to fill a candidate from the region that's vacated, for sure. And I went to the state policy and I found it equally as ambiguous. So I would propose that now that we know, according to our solicitor and our administration, that we're doing it the right way, that we kind of document that in our policy in some fashion. It makes it a little clearer for people like me and maybe the public. And maybe that policy is up for review soon anyhow, so it's, you got it on the schedule. That's great.
Is it just a matter of referencing wherever said laws and policies reside now?
That would be a tough reference.
Okay.
I had to do a lot of digging with the solicitor to find the actual reference where it came from, and it goes back to when they formed in 1960, when they reformed. So there's no actual real good citing evidence other than the one lawsuit case. So I think, you know, to Mike's point, just clarifying it in our policy just cleans it up. I don't know where it is in the cycle, though. I'll have to look and check that out. But that's up to the whole board.
Bump it up, maybe.
So we pay PSBA for, make them figure it out.
Yeah, well, we do a better job.
So that's a waste of money?
No, well, I'm not saying that.
I did.
I have an opinion.
I did.
I get in trouble and when I say those things, so. But if the rest of the board wants to see that one either moved up or brought in a earlier time frame, then let me know. Right now, Mike brought it up.
Thoughts, other board members?
I'm fine with bringing it up and looking at it.
Yeah, I kind of like the way we've done it in the past. I don't know.
We'll just
Chris
document.
and I spoke, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. We could think of half a dozen, 7 instances of it here in the past 10, 12 years. Every time there's always been candidates from the region. One time, every time except for once, one time there weren't candidates from the region. And then we had to go to the courts to get permission to do that, so. However, if we can make that more, clear in our policy, let's do it. Okay. Any other new business items, board members?
Just clarification on our June 2nd meeting. Are we to send changes or new questions to Mr. Bigger?
Yeah,
Got it.
direct them to Mr. Bigger and,
And by, what's the drop dead date on that?
Friday would be great. No later than Friday, yep.
Got it, thank you.
Item 14, information vacancy summary. Attached district enrollment summary is also attached. Disposal of district equipment, same LIU report. We will need, that's something we will need at a subsequent meeting, we will need to reappoint, we will need to appoint a representative to the LIU board. That, Ms. Harbaugh served in that role. So that's something after June 2nd we'll have to do as a board.
I did talk to Dr. Marchese, and he encourages Zoom participation or virtual if you have a hard time making it all the way to Adams County into Oxford. So if anybody was worried about the drive, don't worry about the drive, if someone's willing to do it.
Okay, Franklin Learning Center report. Mr. Haydick or Mrs. Council?
report.
Okay. Career Tech Center, meeting Thursday night. Okay. Hearing nothing else, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.